Well, hello everyone. Happy Sunday afternoon if you're here in the States, and I guess it's Sunday evening if you're on the other side of the pond. I'm Sheryl Abernathy here for Lisa Horton Crafts, and today I'm going to be sharing an easy and elegant card that I made using lots of dies and a little bit of ink and an embossing folder. So the products that I'm using are the Wildflowers craft dies. These are Lisa's pick this week, and I think today you've still got a couple more hours. If you don't have these, you want to make sure you go ahead and pick these up while they're on special. And then I'm using the Hello from the Hey You Extra Large Sentiment set of craft dies. And I've got the background script embossing folder and the nested essential stitched rectangle dies. And those are the dies and embossing folder that we're using. The colors I'm going to be using, you can see here. I've got Juicy Pineapple, Dusky Rose, Garden Sage, and Silver Shine. And I'm also using some of Lisa's cardstock, the premium linen textured cardstock. I'm using the Lemon Drizzle, the Petal Pink, and the Summer Green. So those are the colors of our card for today and the products. And here is our card. Really simple, but really pretty and easy to use, easy to create. So let's go ahead and get started. I love, love, love the colors in this card. I know we're in fall, but I just think they're pretty and springy, and I still like them, and so I'm going to use them. Let's see. So the first thing that we want to do, I'm going to bring back the dies, and we're going to take an A2 size piece of paper in basic white, and we're going to die cut our that front panel first. And we're going to use, I guess I need to put these over here so you can see which one I'm actually pulling out. It's this one. I think this is the one. Is this one? Yeah. Yep, this is the one I want. Let me do one more double check. It might be this one. Yeah, no, this is the one I want. So this is number 4. When you go inside these from the largest 1, 2, 3, this is number 4. That is the rectangle that I'm using for this, and I just put it in the center of that A2 panel here. And it doesn't have to be exact. I just kind of eyeball it and make sure that it's pretty close to the center with just looking at my eyes. And then use some low tack tape, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that rectangle out of the center of the panel. And I'll be off camera for just a second here as I die cut this. And I'll bring it back in a second so you can see what's next. Let's see who's there. I've got Donna there and Valerie, Sue. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Lorraine. Hi. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining. Always love having company when I'm having fun in my craft room. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pull this off. I need to clean my cutting plates because they are dirty. It's showing up on my card. I'm not liking that. I can brush that off. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to leave this together, and then I'm going to put it into the embossing folder, and we're going to emboss both pieces together. So we'll just bring in that embossing folder and make sure I got it the right way around. And here we go. And you could tape this together before you put it in here, but why do that when you can fiddle around for a little bit to put it in there? But that's just my way. As soon as I get, well, now come on, being contrary for no reason. As soon as I get that straight again in there. Okay, there we go. So we have that in our embossing folder, and I'm just going to go ahead and emboss this quickly. And then we'll get to have some fun with the beautiful metallic inks. I've been using these inks, and I bet you I'm going to need to buy myself another pad before the re-inkers are available. So we're going to go ahead and sit this centerpiece over to the side, and then we're going to ink up. I'm going to get a piece of paper, and we're going to ink up our frame that we've just created using the Silver Shine. And this, you guys know these inks are fabulous. You don't need me to tell you, they are just the best. And this ink, I'm telling you, it looks like mirror card when you're done with it. It really does. So it's good, you know, sometimes if you are out, if you need mirror card and you're out, pull out these inks and just ink up some white card, and you've got mirror card in a second. So we're just going to go around this whole frame and give it a nice coat of this beautiful Silver Shine metallic ink. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I love this scripted background embossing folder too. It's really, really pretty. So many uses for it. We'll just go all the way around this frame. Look how quick that goes. Just beautiful. And just a little bit more here, and we'll have this done. Make sure I got good coverage everywhere. Looks like I do. So that's our gorgeous frame. Isn't that pretty? So we'll set this aside, and then I'm going to bring in I've done some work ahead of time to save us time. I die cut 3 flowers in the colors that I shared before out of Lisa's textured cardstock. And so I have all 3 of these flowers here. And we're just going to, you don't have to do this step, but I think it adds a little bit of dimension and texture to when you to the flowers when you add a little bit of color to your die cuts. So I just used a coordinating shade of ink. We've got the Juicy Pineapple that we're going to put on this yellow stem here. And I didn't do the whole thing, just kind of around the tips. And the little flowers, I did the whole thing. And just ink it up. Just get a little bit of color variation on your die cut. Makes those little teeny things that make a difference in your finished product. Just adding a teeny weeny bit of color. You can see there, that shows up on camera, you can see that tiny bit of color shading in there. And then we will do the same thing with this other stem. It is, I got that upside down. it is garden sage. And we'll kind of do the same thing. The berries on the garden sage, I want them to be almost solid. So we're just going to color those in really nice. Oh, thank you, Rebecca, for the compliment on my shirt sleeve. My whole shirt is that fabric. It's one of my favorites because it's so comfy. I like anything that's comfortable, far beyond the fancy, uncomfortable clothes. So just put a little bit of color on your leaves there. I think we'll let that be good. And then we'll bring in the Dusky Rose to go on our petal cardstock. And there's nice texture to this cardstock also. So you're going to have lots of texture when you add these extra little bit of color to your die cut. And go down here and grab this one. And I think that looks pretty good. So we can move our inks out of the way because we're done with them. And we'll bring back in that die cut that we did earlier and embossed it. Wait a minute, let me get this ink off my fingers because I really don't want that showing up on the white. Take a little rag here and wipe that off. Okay, so now all we're going to do is put these flowers onto, here we go, put our flowers onto our little panel here that's going to be inside. And where's my glue? Here we are. And I'm just going to use glue for this. I'm going to first glue the pieces together and then I will glue them down. And so I only want them attached at the bottom. So that's where I'm putting glue. And I'll just stack it on top so that it gets onto the glue, like so. And then we'll add on the petal pink flower. And how'd that go? About like that. That looks about right. And I want to make sure that it's going to be within my border, and it is. And then I'll flip it over and put some glue on the back. And if you want your pieces to adhere completely, obviously you would glue everywhere, but I'm only concerned about the base. I want to keep that upper part free flowing because I'm going to add some dimension there. And then I'll take my scissors and trim this part off. Okay, get that off of there. Put my glue back. And then the next part, I've got some height on my frame. So there's foam tape on the back of my frame. So we'll just get our foam tape here. And it's very sticky. I got it from Amazon. and it's pretty wide, so I'm going to cut it in half a couple of times as I do this, and it is very sticky, which is good for your card, but makes it a little fun when you're trying to work with it, because it sticks, and when it is down, it is down. So you really, if you're using this kind of foam tape, you want to be really careful to make sure. Let's see, that's about right. I'm just eyeballing this. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you are wanting it to be a little more perfect, then you'll probably want to measure, but for what I'm doing, eyeballing it is working out just fine. So as we tussle with the tape, the foam tape here, all right, then I'll put some down here and cut off this excess. And then keep that off to the side. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And trim that down. Okay, so then the next thing we want to do is go ahead and adhere our and it doesn't really matter, but I just want to make sure that the scripting is going in the same direction. It's not legible, obviously, so it doesn't matter technically which way you put it, but I just wanted to just have it going the same way if I can. It doesn't matter. Hi, Lori. I'm glad you could join us today. Thank you. I'm glad you like the card. Okay, now here's the fun part, is getting this on there without having it be on your fingers and having it be on your card base where you want it. So I kind of focus on the top edges, and if I get that right, then the rest of it usually comes out fine. So there, we have that. And then we have, we can put our center down. I use glue just because I can, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room when I'm trying to make sure it's right where I want it to be when I put that down in the center. So I'm just putting glue generously all across the back here. Okay, and then just putting that down into that frame like so. Move it over just a wee bit. And then I think I want this to stick. Actually, I kind of like it hanging over. So we're going to do that. And then I want these petals to be sticking up a little bit. So I've got some glue foam squares, and I'm going to double stack them. So I'll take, well, maybe I'll double stack them. Best part of my lives is watching me try to do this. Because it's funny. My fingers and these little foam squares and gems. Foam squares and gems are just a little treat for me. So I double stack them, and I'm going to stick them back behind the bloom. And I'm going to do the same thing with the petal pink bloom. Double stack that foam. Get that off of there. Okay, we got one off. Get another piece off. And then we can actually, we'll take this piece, put it on there, peel that off. We've got our double stack. Sounds like a burger, doesn't it? Double stack. I'll take a double stack. And put that down there. And so I want to move over just a wee bit. There we go. And then we want to take our sentiment. Let me show you. These are from the Hey You sentiments, and I'm using the Hello, which has two dies. The lettering and then the shadow. And so I did the shadow in white and I did the lettering in silver mirror cardstock. And you could also, if you didn't have mirror cardstock, you can use your Silver Shine metallic ink and go ahead and die cut that and it will turn out perfect. Now because I'm sitting this way, I need to put some foam tape under the tops of the H and the L's so that they will lay, they won't get squished down. So I'm going to cut some small pieces of foam tape and put on the back of those letters before I, well, if I get it off my scissors, I will, before I adhere that down. So let's see, where's the sticky part? There we go. We just got to go those four areas that, actually I guess it's more like 5 areas in it that are sticking up. We want to put down our foam tape. Three more to go. There we go. Okay. Well, there. This is just so fun. I always laugh when I do this because it takes me twice as long to get the little pieces that I'm trying to get off where I want them to go as it does to make the card. It's so funny. Okay, so that's there. And we've only got one more. Okay, so pull. I got all the backs off except for a couple of them. That one's off. This one is not. Okay. Okay, all right. So after we do that, this one, uh-oh. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that like that and I'll just put some glue on it because it's on its side actually, but that's okay. I can work with that. And then we'll just put some glue on this part. It's going to be on that bottom part. It'll actually touch the card. And just for good measure. Okay. I think we've got it. And let's see, that looks like that's about right. Or I press down. Yep, that looks pretty good. And then we'll finish that off with one single silver gem. And we will be able to call this done. Now, don't forget, if you don't have your your wildflower craft dies. Take advantage of the sales. I say save money wherever you can, and go ahead and hop on over to Lisa's website and pick these up because you're going to want them in your stash, I'm telling you. Okay, so there's that. And that completes our project. I did one, if you don't like the shine and you want something that's still soft but not as shiny, you can do it in white like I did here, and just use all craft papers and no inks at all. But I think you can see that having that ink adds a little bit of extra dimension to those flowers, and I just love it. I hope you like the project. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to pop over and make yourselves available of these beautiful Wildflowers craft dies, and Claire will be back on Tuesday doing some beautiful stenciling with an anthracite. So you want to be able to be sure you check her out on Tuesday. And thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.